Alright guys, welcome. Jaquil here with a Druid build for you. Today I've got the Slam Poison build. It's a combination of Pet and Pulverize. I feel like it synergizes really well. As you can see, I'm level 63. I've got 4,700 attack power, 3,700 armor, and 2k of health. I'm very tanky, and with my pets I'm able to take... I haven't come across anything I haven't been able to take down. I've fought against the Butcher. I've done nightmare dungeons and stuff with myself. I'm just kind of creeping along doing those things, testing things out, trying to find a good synergy with this build. And with saying that, we're going to go ahead and go over the gear, and then I'll show you how I kind of put together the abilities, and we'll go from there, all right? So, starting with the amulet, we have the gain 1 additional companion. In addition, your companion deals 29% more damage. I've gotten this one twice. This was the best roll I got, so I just rolled it onto there. Really what you want to do is like you can see the necklace has a rank to all companions. I wanted to get more. I've got one with a +2 rank, so I'm debating on swapping that out. I just have to find another aspect that I can roll onto it. Secondly, we have your wolf companions are now werewolf companions. They deal 100%. I got really lucky with this one. It's the same ring. It rolled with it on there. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. I've got crit chance on there, crit damage. Helping me out. I would like to get some extra companion damage or poison damage or something on there. But as of for right now, that's what we're working with. Next up, we have, of course, Pulverize is now an Earth skill. This is the highest roll I've gotten, where it deals 1,166 damage over 2 seconds. Very helpful, and it helps me do damage over time, which is a lot of what I do. Next up, we're going to go to the Helm. So on the Helm, when we fortify, my Earth skills go up by 2 ranks, hence Pulverize is going to go up by 2 ranks when I do that. So next we have the duration of Earth and Bulwark. It's going to be going up by 6 seconds, and it replenishes by 101. So then we have my gauntlets here. Earth skills deal 37% more critical strike damage. I'm looking for a better roll on that one, but I like the willpower I have on there. The landslide, I prefer it to be, I do have the pulverize on there, but I'd prefer it to be something else, maybe in poison or poison creeper or something like that. But it's close. It's almost there. Next up, we have the Earthguard runic leggings. They gain 19% bonus amount to your next Earth and Bulwark for each enemy you crowd control, and we crowd control a lot, like a lot. And that goes up. That just gives us a little bit more survivability and tankiness. Damage from Earth skills now slows enemy. Again, we're just CCing, so that all kind of helps out. And then the part that pulls, I feel like the part that pulls this whole build together. I wish I'd been able to find it again or on another weapon, but it rolled fairly high, and I wanted to put it on my weapon to get the most out of it, even though it's been a struggle to find a replacement for this weapon, right? Right now, we've got damaging a poison enemy with Werebear skill will instantly deal 288% of the poisoning damage and consume the poisoning. So, when we activate Poison Creeper, we get a large group around us, activate Poison Creeper, and I'll show you guys a video here in a little bit of how this all kind of works together. But when you get that large group together, blam, immense amounts of damage. I have topped out at about 164, and that was at 62. It was I want to say, to be fair, it was an overpowered crit. But still, good damage. My average is around 100k or so when I do damage with that. So that being said, this is all I got. I got a 26% chance to crit, 95% crit damage, 290% overpower damage, and I haven't even really done anything as far as on my Paragon boards to spec into that. That's just what I have. Naturally, we got vulnerable damage. We do have damage to crowd control people, damage to poison. I'm trying to find more of that just to up my poison damage a little bit. But next, we'll go into the spirit boons, and we'll go from there with it. So, start out, I did the wariness, the 10% reduced damage from elites. I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I feel like it could use the gift of the stag where you get 10 maximum spirit increase. But I mean, this one, either one of those are good. If you feel like you're tanky enough, take that one. Because again, this one only affects you against elites. And if you set it up right, you can delete the elites. Done. You know. Next up, we're gonna get 2 in the Eagle one. We're gonna get the 5% increased crit strike chance, and then gain 30% critical strike damage. It's too good to pass up. Next up, we need this one. Critical strikes have up to a 20% chance to reset cooldowns of your companions. We do crit a lot, so I suggest taking this one because there's been times where I've been able to cast Vine Creeper. Like I'll cast Vine Creeper, pulverize, Vine Creeper, pulverize, Vine Creeper, pulverize in a 15-second period, and it has a 20 some odd second cooldown. I think maybe 17. So definitely worth it. I would highly suggest it. And because we make pulverize an Earth skill, we want to go ahead and take Obsidian Slam. Basically, every 20th kill will cause your next Earth skill to overpower, which means when you get those large groups of trash mobs together, you pulverize them, pulverize, you've got an overpower. Then you use that, you know, if you're paying attention, you use that against the bosses, you're gonna just grind through them, right? All right. So next up, let's go over how I've got this built, how it's kind of working together. So obviously we went with Storm Strike to get that 25% damage reduction. And we want to get the immobilized because it's just another CC, as well as the vulnerable. Vulnerable is fantastic. 50% chance. It's almost every other hit. You're getting vulnerable and then it'll chain, and it's phenomenal. I highly suggest it with this build. And then we come down here. Pulverize. We do have 8 ranks in it because I do have a +3 to it. And we're going with the enhanced pulverize to overpower it, and then the raging pulverize to stun them. So when we overpower, boom, it's a stun, more CC, and it helps our wolves out. Honestly, our wolves are going to do more damage to them with there, but our wolves are not the star of this one. Just to keep that in mind. And I am using Earth and Bulwark, obviously. It gives me a 77% absorption, and it's like 1400 damage plus all the other buffs, and then it fortifies us for 18% of our base life on top of that. So it's really a good one to have. Comes in handy in a pinch. Then we have our wolves. With this build right now, I've got them doing anywhere from 8 to 10k of damage when you tell them to bite. Otherwise, they're doing roughly, I want to say they do right around 600 damage on average when they're biting. We've got the enhanced wolf pack, so they do 20% more increased damage when they're mobilized, stunned, slowed, or poisoned. We do that a lot. Then you have the brutal wolf pack. I went ahead and got this just so they're attacking more often. Just to add a little bit extra damage on there. I had an extra point. I was like, you know what? Let's throw that one in there, you know? Next up, the Ravens. I feel like people are sleeping on the Ravens, okay? They are incredibly good, and I'll tell you why. They are a damage over time. Again, you can see they go upwards of possible 15k of damage over 6 seconds. But here's the thing. They can crit. The Ravens can crit. It's a damage over time that can crit. And I have some video, and I will highlight that later, showing it. But, I mean, they can crit. When you get those lethal shrines that just cause all damage to crit, you cast those out, you're just going to see 3k, 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 3k. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. And I highly recommend them. It's really good for taking out small crowds or when you're fighting the boss. It's just super handy. We went with the Enhanced Ravens, which gives us 5% increased critical strike chance against enemies for 6 seconds after they are hit by ravens. And we went ahead and did the Brutal Ravens, so we get 2 additional ones that periodically attack. I find this to be a little bit more effective. It's nice to have the vulnerable, but since the ravens won't follow a target and we can't target really well, at least it's harder for me to target on Xbox. So I went with the other one because they're just randomly attacking at people in the crowd, and it works out a little bit better. Next up, we have the Poison Creeper, which with all the buffs and everything going on, you can do about, I've seen it up around 39k when I have all my buffs running, but base 26k, right? Okay, you're doing 26k when you activate them. And if you pulverize right after that, so the way it works, the way I do this build is I will walk up, Storm Strike, make sure that vulnerable kicks off on, say, like an elite or a boss, Vine Creeper, pulverize. And you just, health go down. Health go bye-bye. Okay? So I highly recommend this because even at the base, 26k of damage plus 288%. You do the math. Big boom. Then, of course, we have the Call of the Wild. We can't have companions without Call of the Wild. Just giving us 30% extra damage. We went ahead and did neurotoxin, poison enemies are slowed by 8%, as well as envenom, poison enemies take 30% additional critical strike damage. So when we do crit, bigger boom. Obviously, we didn't have enough points to put anything in any of these. I am running the Earth Sign Strength, just while I'm healthy. So the important thing is to get pulverized, to proc the overpower, you want to make sure you're above 80% health, which is healthy. So as long as you are healthy, you're just dealing an increased 30% damage. So it's fantastic. As well as I'm doing the defensive one that just ups my fortification. So I'm getting more fortified whenever I do fortify. So all in all, it's working really well. And I would highly suggest you guys taking a look at it. And I'm going to get some footage here for you in a minute so you can check it out and just see how good it's running. So yeah, this build is working really well for me. If you guys were looking for something other than just your straight Earth Pulverize Werebear, this one is definitely one to check out if you like the pets. I would highly suggest it. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to drop in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you again later.
I need more spinach.